Hello, Super Robot fans. My name is Austin. Welcome back to the Super Robot Wars Archive. Today we are going to be playing some more Super Robot Wars Arc. This is going to be scenario 34. I finally got myself a pair of headphones, so I'm trying those out with the audio setup I have going. It's picking up something odd, at least visually, that wasn't showing up in testing, so hopefully there won't be an audio problem. But I guess let me know how this sounds if something feels differently that I'm not noticing. We'll keep playing around with it as I figure out how to get set up. But welcome back, everyone. I've published a number of videos since then, so I'm delighted to see that there are some of you. I think I probably said this last video too, but I'm still happy with the turnout. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. I'm glad. Small numbers don't. I'm not disappointed by small numbers. I'm happy that I'm entertaining people, irrespective to the size of the crowd. I'll probably gush about it at the end too. I am surprised and delighted, and I can't stop thinking about it. But you know that because you've already watched it, because you're the ones I'm thanking for watching it. So let's actually get into the video. I've started us in the middle of the scenario again, or at the beginning of the scenario, just because there was a lot of talking in the beginning. I think from this point forward, we basically have free reign of who we get to bring into missions. There's one pilot we got handed, force deployed. We already had Shiratori with us, but other than that, we largely get control of our units. Let's look up. I don't think there's anybody. No, I did bring the Wing Gundam with. He had been off and on part of the team, but I did decide to bring him with this time. I've subbed him out for the Master. I've subbed the Master Gundam out for him. We probably aren't going to use the Master Gundam much anymore. I think we've gotten to see the novelty of it. And it has stayed its relevant time. We can let's see what we're doing though today. We can look at our objectives. We first have this sort of like penned in circle situation going on. All the Nadeshiko enemies from all sides. We have returning bosses. Saboroto and what's the other man's name? Genpachiro. Genichiro and Genpachiro. You'll remember them from the defense objective we had at like mid-20s, where we had to block off a 3x3 grid. Otherwise, if any enemies landed on it, we lost. So we have those two bosses, and then we have the Hokushin 6. They're all the same guy, and Hokushin himself returning from the Nadeshiko route split opening area. We didn't get to see that this playthrough, obviously. I think he maybe appeared one other time before or after that. I don't remember. Yeah, I think in the scenario where we get the Excellence Eternal. But he is a very dodge-oriented boss. He's got really low HP. We're gonna hopefully take him out in one turn with our setup of super advancing our morale. He will not hold up to damage really well. It's really the dodging. Actually, let's. Who has a skin we can spare? We can look at the stats of the unit. I guess he also has some armor here. They did decide to give him a new Alloy Z to kind of make him defensive all around. But the real problem is the distortion field that he has up already. If you've watched the Nuts and Bolts episode, you know how that works. If you haven't, it reduces damage of non-gravity weapons by 1/3, and of gravity weapons, if it does less than 2,500 damage, it doesn't do anything. If it does more than 2,500 damage, then it ignores it. But generally speaking, it's a pretty potent barrier for reducing damage. And then the grayed out text, the second one down, is the Boson Jump, which at 120 morale, he gets the ability to 50% of the time just not participate in the combat. That does not get shown in the calculations like usual. It just takes place. So the difficulty comes from the fact that half of the time we aren't actually going to even land that. Like, it's going to be more than half the time we don't land damage if we don't have a spirit about it. But I think you understand what I'm saying, right? That even if he's not doing a ton of damage with his attacks, right? Like these are not the most grandiose of numbers. Like 2950 is pretty chunky, but it's not like we're looking at like really big giant 4,000 damage attacks. It's the damage comes from the consistency of him and how many turns of combat we're gonna waste trying to actually get him dead if we don't do something about him spending a lot of SP. And then back behind him, or to the left of him, we have 3 of the Devil Gundams. And we have this Tulip, which is a Nadeshiko device for boson jumping. But for our purposes, it's just a plus 10, minus 10 tile. And once there are 8 total enemies remaining between the Nadeshiko and these 3 Gundams, but it's going to be the Nadeshiko ones, then we're going to get a whole mess of units that are going to arrive right around this area. And that's going to happen 5 times. So we also get to really inflate some kill counts this mission. I'll maybe try and be a little bit more deliberate on who's getting them. We have, what? 6 enemies arrive from that flag, and I said it was 5 times, so that's 30 kills we get to distribute places. It would be nice if we could, like, round off some numbers if we have them. Also, I flashed the Nadeshiko quick. We'll come back and look at that. Yeah, okay, so our priorities are making sure we get at least 2 kills on Saisaishi and 5 kills on Doma, which I don't think should be in trouble, because it doesn't have to be just from these ones. It can be from anywhere on the map. But just that we're going to have a lot of extra enemies, so we might be able to get someone to cross another ace bonus threshold. Let's look at the Nadeshiko. It was attacked during the opening cutscene part of the scenario, but there was a lot of stuff that happened afterwards, too. I figured it wasn't worth showing. Again, like how a lot of the Nadeshiko scenarios go. I guess I can't say again, we didn't see them, but frequently the Nadeshiko is rendered immobile, so we're just going to have to let it sit here and defend it for a bit. Once we've cleared out the top and the bottom, we can largely go to town. Moving to the left, we can pretty well leave it alone. But in the meantime, we're going to have to stay around and protect it, which is fine because we are going to group up the first turn anyway. And a lot of these enemies are going to try to collapse in on us early on, the first, like, 1 or 2 turns. So let's set up our usual. I have not played again since my last recording. My other job took precedence. So let's see if I remember how I was doing this. The Funsaiki. Funsaiki had this spell, not dedication. Is it Rouse? I think it's Rouse. Bright had it. And who else had it that we were using it on? I think it was... Oh, we've got a lot of people that have it. Oh, right, Rain also had it. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we had it on the Aphrodite, but that clearly did not get deployed. We haven't in a while, but that's because we have it on these 3. And then we also have it on the Combattler and the Voltace, but we don't want to spend it on them if we can help it. And Katra has it too, but again, their SPs are all worth more. I'm not saying this for you, I am mostly saying this for me so that I remember. Okay. We want the Combattler and the Voltace probably at the right angles of 2 of them. So I think we're going to go here. Right, and then we have the right angles for both of these. The Eternal needs some. The Getter needs some. Katra needs some. And then we have our 4 down here. Yeah, perfect. I guess, like, technically Hero probably benefits a lot from it, too, because he gets those 10 extra stats. Let's sub him out for George next turn. We don't need George. Actually, we also don't have to, like, spam both of them on the same people. Right? We can switch out in the middle. So we'll give George once that he gets past his, I believe his is 110 that we need. We'll look in a second. Oh, no, he needs 120, so he actually does need both of those. Okay. Okay, so then Catra got one shot of it. Then we won't use Rain's... We won't use Rain's other... Rouse, as I'm going to call it Rouse, I think that's right. I'll look it up in a second while the enemy's taking their turn. But we won't use Rains now, so that we can switch out Catra with Hero next turn, because Catra isn't trying to actually get to any specific morale thresholds. He doesn't have any abilities that trigger, no skills that activate, and no attacks that require it. It's just to get him extra damage. And then Food Psyche is good to use all of his. And then we will make the Combo God Gundam now. We won't get to use any extra movement, but that's fine. We don't need to add it. Like I said, everything's going to collapse on us anyway, so I'm not worried about wasting this turn of positioning. And as I think I'm finding out, I am still playing this game decently quickly. I do want to move Hero in there so he gets the supports, so he's not sitting off on his own. Like, I don't think he's going to be able to survive just by himself. Well, maybe I don't get a chance to go look things up. I think we can afford to dodge that. We definitely... Actually, maybe we do want this. Come on. No, we definitely don't want the support attack happening. He's just next to Rain. We'll try to... Oops, sorry about my mic. Yeah, totally fine. I want to switch to Docks. This we can definitely counterattack. Also, I don't know why I didn't have the Carrot. I could have moved slightly better and had the Carrot heal the Nadeshiko. I'm not enthused at the idea of supporting into the Nadeshiko. It's possible that she'll take a attack or two. So we can give it to the Rock High. I mean, there's no reason to. The Combattler, or the Voltace is well suited for taking deaths. Also, incredible that we have 100% hit on a Devil Ice to Balls. They are a common enemy, but they are the dodge-oriented common enemy for the end of the game. There's not like a Gundam rep for the end game. Severance. This is not resupply. It is Rouse. I did remember it correctly. Yeah, and then we'll still... And you'll keep it on the Combattler this time, too. And I think once enemy phase 1 is done, we'll turn off animations until we get the boss kills. If I remember for the Yatenko. It might just die like a regular enemy, because it kind of is going to be to us. And then the Rock Hyloon. We do want to pass this one off, because we're already going to have to heal. We already want to heal the Combattler anyway. And actually... It's a little bit less damage, but way more hit. I would much rather land something. Though the distortion field will probably make that next to nothing. I think this also is the first time a Tetsujin from our side is getting to see combat. I think I said this in the write-up, too. I think the Tetsujin is really interesting. Apologies if I mentioned this when we got it the first time, but it has a really wide variety. Like, it is a very deep pool of what defines it. Like, there's a lot of attacks. It has a defensive ability. It is already defensive itself. I think my qualm with it is it just comes a little bit too late. If we got it maybe, like, five or even 6 scenarios sooner, just that... I think that is not that much sooner compared to the entire span of the 37 scenarios in the game, right? I think 5 scenarios sooner would have made it feel way more meaningful. By the point you get it, you already are so committed to most of the units you already have by that point, I think. that starting to invest into a new unit from scratch just does not feel as worthwhile. And then the Voltace will take this attack too. We parried your arm with our sword whips. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're having a good time. I hope I am not interrupting, but giving you a temporary pause for delight. I'm really waiting for a good rainstorm myself. Okay. I guess first things first, let's queue up an attack so I can turn off animations. Superb. We need to move Katra out of here. And we can do so in a way that makes him participate in combat. He's got a 5-range attack, right? 1, 2, 3. Ooh. 1, 2. No, he's gonna stand here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, he can just reach this Ice Tavalis. So he needs to move up 2 more spaces if he wants to get with these Tetsujin also. Just theoretically here. Ooh, our combat is looking pretty favorable against them. Even against the boss. We definitely want to move him first so we can get Hero in the midst of this. I don't want to leave him off on his lonesome. That feels prone to disaster. We could move the Rock Kylun up here next to him to give him that, like, huge leadership bonus. That is mighty tempting. Oh, right, this Devil Ice Tavalis didn't move because it had the getter in range. Right, so I think we will have an easier time clearing up this section. Yeah, I think let's do that. That sounds good to me. Well, I guess if that's the case, actually, the Rock Kylun can move first to give him the better accuracy. Because it's not going to... is that true? No, we probably want it sitting around here to help with these Ice Tavalis. And then Katra has enough hit. Yeah, we'll attack the Tetsu. We'll attack the boss? No, we'll attack the regular Tetsujin instead. And then have the Rock Kylun come in to give him better dodge for enemy phase. And then Hero can attack one of these two pretty pitifully. That's 88, and that's 92. 1, 2. Why is that one better? It's the same number of spaces away. I don't know. Does this have potential? Oh, it has potential. Okay, so it just crossed an HP threshold. That makes sense. And with the assistance of Rain, that should be a counter kill. Yeah. Or a kill from the support attack. Oh, never mind. The distortion is stupid. Never mind. That's fine. I mean, that's still what we want to do. We still want to get him in that position for another one of these. Another Rouse. And then... Oh, right, yeah, I'm glad I figured that out, because Bright has not actually used his Rouses yet, so he needs to stay here and do that first and then move. It's cool when I have a plan and then sabotage it the next turn. I mean, I didn't. It almost did. Okay. I want to try and clear these Ice Tavalis without using the Combattler or the Voltace, their active turn, and then try to send them forward for dealing with the Yutenko and the Mirza. I think that's our plan. Let's see if we can execute. How are Domo stats looking? I think I don't mind having him down here. Yeah. Do we have a focus we can use? I think we can spare a focus. So if we focus down here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Does he have any good 4-ranged attacks? I don't think so. I mean, in fact, he doesn't even have bad 4-ranged attacks. He doesn't have 4-ranged attacks. So if we pop ourselves in the middle, we can fight all 3 of these. That's such a low chance of hit. Maybe using the focus. I was gonna say maybe using the focus doesn't matter, but we're not really using it for dog, right? We're not gonna worry about invalidating the, is it called God Step? That's what it's called, God Flash. I want it more for the hit for the Tetsujin. I know I literally said I want to deal with the Devil Ice Tavalis and then started thinking about where I was going to move Domon out of the way, but it's all in the same picture to me. But that does mean we can like do this first, and then have the support attack off the God Gundam immediately. Why were the Combattler and the Voltaes having such accurate hits on these? I guess because they were right next to the Rockeye Loom. I guess that is helping. Did we use it? I did use it. Man, I've not had to think about this many things recently. My goldfish brain is activating. I think we do want to go after the boss. That's probably the most threatening. Do we have anything interesting happening with this dungeon in here? I still can't remember the difference between the dungeon, the Tetsujin, and the Majin. Like, which one of them is more damage-based, one of them is more defense-based, and one of them is the all-arounder. I don't remember which one it is. 1380 feels like the defense-based one, but I also kind of remember saying that last time and being wrong. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I could look it up right away, but it's like not off the top of my head. It's 1 to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're just out of range of that, and we can. I think he'll go down before he has the ability to use his map attack or the gravity blast. Okay, we left these 3 in, or these 2. I'm looking at 2 things and saying the number 3. It's a family tradition to discount like that. We can take out these 2 pretty easily. I think we can leave one of them to Rain, and then these 3 will take the more concerted effort of our team, but it's fine. Oh, they even have support. They've got support defenses. That's a shame. I'm sure it'll work out. I think they only have 1 support defense. The AI only get level 1 of support defense. Yeah, see, that works. That's fine. The Taugis is pretty busted. By accident. I do still misclick that. The Nadeshiko does not have a good enough accuracy on them to warrant trying, I don't think. I think she's just gonna end up sitting here, which is fine. We probably could have used George a little bit better for that 3rd one. That's on me. Right, we could have map attacked that. Move the Tetsujin out of the way. I mean, we still can. We could also, like, do this. We were gonna move. You know what, let's do that. We were gonna move the Rockeye Loom anyway. You go up here. That's fine, yeah, like, it's not gonna... That wasn't gonna kill, it's okay. We just can't move the Nadeshiko, we'll just heal it first. Are you also attacking yourself? He is attacking himself, which is unfortunate. We can give him Flash. I'm not worried about the Death Scythe because it has the Haro on it. We can also just, like, send the Eternal forward now. I think let's wrap up these 2. Ugh. We can go here instead. That gives us one step closer into the leadership. Okay, that's fine. What does that do? Where's our radius post again? It's okay, so we can be to the left of the one on the bottom, and right down here, exactly the range of the getter. We obviously don't want to, well, yeah, we don't want to kill if we can help it. We want to get the full value off of George. That's worse. And I think we've established many times that we do not have focus on the getter, so... No, look there, we try this. No, we still killed it anyway. Okay. That's fine. That does mean that George is going to change what he is doing. I forget just how much damage the getter does. I figured the distortion field would stop it, but I guess it does have 133 morale. We're just shy of attacking that mob. Do we have... Oh, right. Okay. That seems incredible. Let's use the Excellence's excellent range. Yeah. I think that should probably die, and then... Okay, George can finish that. Or one of these two can finish it as they're moving forward. Yeah. Yeah, we can leave it at the Voltes then. Perfect. Oh, those are a little pricey. Let me get back to my scenario map and see what else everything else is going to be priced at. We definitely want to save our funds for the Devil Gundams that are at the very end. But yeah, okay, we should be spending fortunes and gains on the fortunes and blessings on those. Like I said, let's full send the Combattler also. He's at full health, so unless I want to like waste a really powerful attack, I don't see him dying. And that feels like not a good use of energy, right? Because like he can die next turn too. That was what half health would be 4,600. Okay, so that did a little over half. So we'll do something weaker if we don't want to kill on accident. And then... I do still want to move George forward. Actually, no, we can move George up. Alright, this area is going to need help still. Good golly. Okay. The Carrot needs to still heal the Nadeshko. It can then go up and heal Rain afterwards. But the Nadeshko is a defeat condition, so I do care about that a little bit more than losing the funds from Rain getting destroyed. And then 80 energy is a little too much to spend, I think. Yeah. I meant to look at the attacks. I'm not even going to bother. That's just putting her at more risk than is necessary. Okay, that's fine. I think I say we may as well, and then send the damage to the Rock Island. And then it needs to start blocking again. That's fine. I didn't pay attention to it having a support defense still active. Yeah, the Tetsujin can duel. We can do dueling Tetsujins. That's who we wanted to get attacked. The distortion field really does slow down the ability to clear this part quickly. But I think being able to keep these units where they're like keeping the God Gundam here to lock these 3 down does really have us sorted for the time being, and then we can. That can happen while the rest of the scenario is getting cleared. Great, and then we can fortune that. We're going to be here for a bit just because of the extra waves. We're going to be here a little bit because of the extra waves, so I would like to, if we can help it, try to start applying damage as soon as possible. We don't have to clear all those waves, though, admittedly. If you move on to the Tulip, it will stop those waves, all those extra waves from arriving. But I think you're just as easily going to kill all of them on enemy phase. Trying to, like, get to that point, so why not? Hero is pretty well locked in for one of his turns. Actually, let's do Domon down here first. We'll just literally repeat the exact same turn as last time. Okay, I still think I suspect Hero is probably going to be attacking this Tetsujin. That said, I think I'm okay with him being the one that kills it. The Devil Eyes are also not worth a lot, right? They're worth only 1,000. Okay. Well, we can get Saisaishi's last kill. I was just trying to figure out whether I wanted to fortune or not. I think I'm fine with that. He's not the most invested unit, so I don't mind him being a little bit behind still. In terms of like where he physically is on the map. Okay, how's George's map attack looking? Yeah, that's what we wanted. That does mean Katra is going to be in the way of it, but he does have just an awful lot of dodge. Again, it would just I'm gonna complain about it as if it's gonna change a like 20-year-old game at this point, but it'd be really cool if I could see what the predicted accuracies were for it. The predicted accuracies were for it. I mean, the short answer of it is just like get him one space, like we can move him one space to the right. I think we can manage. Yeah, that seems fine. We are losing that duel, so we will need George to intervene. I think we'll have George just use his map attack without like spending anything on it. Right? We don't need to fortune or blessing yet. I do want to focus just to make sure we get the damage in. And then maybe next turn he can use the map attack to clear up anything else. Okay, we are now winning the Tetsujin duel. That was an important step. Ooh, Hero could... never mind. I was gonna say Hero could take that one, but that's a coin toss. I don't like it. I don't think Hero is strong enough to take that out by himself. So how about the Rokai Loom help him? We also shouldn't have. I shouldn't have like instant fired, instant locked Carrot up here. Bright could have healed himself. What I should have done is I should have had. Oh, never mind. No. I was gonna say I should have had Bright use willpower, but he can't use that anymore because we were using Rouse on him. So never mind. I did do it right. I just didn't think about it enough to remember to do it right. I could repair kit now, but that's also not really worth it. I'm concerned with the damage I'm going to experience after the fact. It is definitely a downside. It's why I usually say I would like to have 2 healers. I should have brought the Methus rather than the Wing Gundam. But the other option is just that we can have Hero attack first and then have the Rock Loom finish it off. Maybe finish it off. We can also just not be stingy and I can just use a Valor. I'm fairly confident that with a Valor this will kill. I think let's do that. I'm not sure how much more play Hero's going to get in this scenario anyway. Yeah. And we didn't need that, right? That was 5,700. So that would have been, what, 28-ish? We needed 35. I just wanted to cross that morale. Oh, no. The zero system is at 130, so we still need to get 2 more. That's fine. Or probably more likely 1 more, and we'll have other things dead. That's a worthwhile attack. Yeah, okay, so we can attack this Tetsujin and then have Shiratori probably finish. Please excuse me for a water break for a second. I live alone, and I live in a decently rural area, so this might be the only time I speak out loud for a while, maybe even for a week. So not having been on mic, I gotta get back used to it again. See, this is what I was saying with when I initially proposed this project. The consistency of the schedule is not really there for me still. Because I'm sure that wouldn't be a problem if I did record, like, either every day or every other day or whatever. But I think the last time I recorded something, I recorded another video, I recorded last episode. This should be good, yeah. I recorded last episode at the beginning of this month. So that was 1, and then I hadn't recorded anything couple days after that. So again, it's been like 2 weeks since I've recorded anything, and that's just like not going to keep me in practice well, but it is just how my schedule needs to be. So we kind of duo attack Tsukiyomi. I'm going to opt to say that the Denjin is the tanky one, right? What is this? Yeah, that's the Denjin. I think the Denjin is the tanky one, because that's nearly the same as the Dai Majin. Yeah, there's the Majin is 1150. Is the Majin then the, like, damage-based one? I think the Majin's the damage-based one. Okay. We could also have Hero attack here, and then he can get... Duo, we can get Fortune on that, and that secures an extra 3,000. But that is the only legal attack that the Talgeese has. We could use Charge and move forward a space. I think we're probably going to do that again. We'll move forward 2. We'll move forward 2, and then we'll think about it some. Yeah, just to get the... It's a lot of firepower, and we also get to pull a really good attack off of the excellence for this, too. Okay, so once he is here, he has a range of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is turn 3. When do the Mirza start moving? If I'm gonna spend SP on this, I want to make sure we're trying to move him into a, like, decently relevant spot. The Mirza do move this turn. So it is quite possible that he will be in range for them next turn without needing to spend the SP again. So I think I'm happy with the game here. Also, I'm pretty sure those units are called Mirza. I believe how they are spelled is M-R-Z-A, which is not normally how English do. It's admittedly not English, but if anyone knows the name of them better, please let me know. You're probably sick of hearing me say it, but I have not watched that show. Predominantly, I think, actually, not predominantly, that suggests that there's multiple, but there's an overwhelming version. The only thing that I've watched from this game are just the Gundams. This is worth the same, right? Yeah. Excellent. So it doesn't matter to me which one duo secures. He can take out one, and then someone can, probably the getter will do the other. Yeah, that's fine, because the getter needs to be pushed up more anyway to be more relevant. Right? 1, 2, okay. I guess not that much more pushed up, because I don't want the Mirza attacking him. And then not moving. What's their range? Up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we can be to the right of this Majin, and they will still move next turn. Let's cash. And XP. Ooh. That was a loud kerfunk outside. Maybe that windstorm, maybe that rainstorm is coming, just with heavy gales. Okay. So here's this thought. The Excellence weakens Tsukiyomi. One of these two comes in, stands here, kills, and the other one has access to their best attack, and then kills the Yatenko. That does also actually invalidate these ones moving, though. They'll probably collapse in, or just stay put, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, actually, they'll all stay put if they move there. But I think that is still the most proactive plan. I think we're going to do it. I think I like it. We focus. And we valor. This is also the hardest part of the scenario now. Seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bummer. That means the getter will get attacked by this dungeon, and it won't move. It's okay. We'll sort that next turn. I'm sure the getter can probably just fly up and one-shot it. They're like right neck and neck, so we'll have the combattler. We'll have the combattler do this one, and then the Voltes do the other. I feel pretty comfortable saying that I shouldn't feel comfortable. I keep saying don't waste spirit. This is the hardest part of the scenario. We're just going to spend it. I probably don't need to, but we have so much. What is the harm? I was going to say we might be able to get away with not spending the Valor. I think realistically we probably can. We're doing 5,000 an hour, and we have 37 morale over him. I think we probably are good, but I just there's no reason not to be safe about it. For what it's worth, he doesn't retreat. I just don't want to waste the money. Let's see, if we're doing anything over 10,000 damage, that Valor was wasted. Oh, you know what? No, this probably was the correct play because of the distortion field. Yeah, in fact, that was right the correct play, right? That would have been 4,800. I think we would have been short like 100 points of damage. So that was exactly the right thing to do. Okay, great. Are we at full morale then? We are. Okay. Then we need 2 fortune. What's our accuracy? We need to move also. What's our accuracy looking like? We definitely need a bullseye. I had assumed, but we just had really good accuracy before, so I wanted to check. We have no experience yet. We need that. There we go. And given what we saw before, and Tsukiyomi, I didn't actually show it, but Tsukiyomi has less defense, and that unit, I think, had somewhat less armor than the Yatenko. I think we probably want a Daunt or 2. And like I said, there's not actually better targets for it. After this, our threats are the Devil Gundams, and we have an infinite amount of time to take those out. And the only other thing that, the only other flag for this stage is all those extra units, the Shishiki, arriving. So I don't think we're gonna get a better opportunity to spend that Daunt. And you know what? Let's just do one, just to be safe. We're putting him under 100 that way. Yeah, we're putting him at 94. And he also did have Boson Jump active too. To my knowledge, Boson Jump does not work if you have used Bullseye. If you have 100% hit and you've not used a Spirit, you've not used Bullseye, or I guess Love to then get a copy of Bullseye, the Boson Jump could still take place. But if you use Bullseye, that does negate that. I do wonder if there's that other Spirit that says they ignored defensive abilities, that it's designed around ignoring support defenses, I think. I wonder if that would also stop the Boson Jump from happening. Okay, that was a little overkill. But the Valor was necessary, those extra Daunts probably weren't. That's okay. Now we just got the other great armor part. Actually did not pay attention to what the dungeon, was it the dungeon? No, it was the Daimon. Was it? Yeah. Was it just really an extra large magazine? That's so boring. Okay. I do think I also want to get Rain out of here, just so she doesn't get, they don't target her for no reason. We really have such a gratuity of resources at the end of this game. Right? I did accidentally just queue into those Mother Soups. I didn't spend them, but that really does mean we can push people a lot farther. Also, I don't know why I gave... Oh, no, I do know why I gave them to her, so we could use some more rouses if we wanted to. Theoretically, they would be good on anyone that has multiple pilots, right? Because it works the same way as Dedication does, right? It'll give it to all the pilots. But both of the 3 units that are primarily with multiple pilots for us really need the parts they already have. We can also turn animations off again. I also don't know. Let's say that the Voltace or the Combattler or the Getter had 1 extra part. I don't know if I would dedicate that 3rd slot to it being a consumable. I think the Getter one would probably be the full suite of energy. So actually, hold on. Before I commit to that, we'll look at it. That's fine. On this upcoming turn and see. That's interesting. It sure did have someone in range and did not make that attack. That's fine. It also just didn't full move either. It was very weird. This also works out well for having the MRSA attack, right? We're putting them all to low HP. And because Bullseye is not for the attack, but for the turn, because we have Bullseye on these 2, this was the best time for this to happen. We also could be one-shotting them with the final attacks, but want to be a little bit greedy. Oh yeah, he's the farthest away. That checks out. That was within expectations. And then we will use the support defense this time. That's fine. There's not much else going on in this top area. It's still worth a shot. Okay. Oh, well, never mind. We do have a spare part. We have a consumable part on the Getter. Oh, right. Yeah. All of the math is flashing back to me. I do have that chart together for which energy part is best, and the propellant tank is, like, broad strokes better. I think the energy restoring is better overall. It does require you to be around a little bit longer, but I do think you get to make a little bit more aggressive plays. But the Getter, the Shin Getter comes with it naturally because it actually is using Getter rays to power it rather than Plasma like the Neo Getter. So then that one doesn't have any HP or energy regen. So I guess I would use a Mother's Stew on the Getter. Maybe we do take out the propellant tank and place that in Mother's Stew. Actually, yeah, we'll look at that. We'll look at that at the very end of the scenario. How much does it restore, and does it give you enough on one pilot to have one of the full energy restoration one of the full energy restoration spirits, and then also giving SP to other people, because if that is the case, that is just a better propellant tank. You know what? He's on the move, so let's make sure that doesn't happen. Katra's got a blessing for us for sure. Yeah. I think we're going to stay in this position, though, because the Tetsujins haven't moved. And I'm worried if I move, then the Tetsujins will start trying to change their positioning, too. And then, next turn, this enemy phase will counter both the Tetsujins down to lethal range. We can then Blessing Domon on player phase, take out one. Once that attack is finished, give him another Blessing so we can kill the other one on enemy phase and get the funds credit for it. Incredible. Yeah, perfect. Okay, what else do we want to do? Oh, he is still at full health, though. That's a little important. I mean, I guess I did dedicate all my resources elsewhere. No way he can still hit, right? But no, he can. We do have, I think that's charge. What's your range? This, oh, that, well, also, that was 7 range, but that's 7 range with a map attack. So 6 is the actual range. And we are at 8. Okay. So if we spend a soul, a charge, that's 60, 70, 85. That leaves us with 22. We can use a focus if necessary. I don't think we need to use a soul. I think that's a little bit of a waste. We can use a valor, so that leaves us with a couple more options. We also don't, I was gonna say, we can use a focus too. We don't necessarily need to. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we super don't need to. You know, we'll leave him on for a little bit more. I was gonna say, this has been going quickly, but it turns out it's been an hour already. I keep commenting on the time, I'm so sorry. I swear, I don't like time. That's probably why I think about it so much. Well, great. Let's see how much George's ultimate is doing. I mean, we could Valor him pretty easily this turn and get Genpachiro out of here. Okay. So what, another 6,000. We still need somebody else. Can Catra reach if he's in the middle? He can. Okay. Okay. How close can Shiratori get? He cannot. Oh, that's a bummer. I think Love gives Excel. I'm pretty sure Love gives Excel. Let me double check on that quick. Wrong direction. Yes, it does give Excel. Okay. Tangle on my headphone cords. 1, 2, 3. We can be adjacent. Do we want to be? Second best attack. Shiratori is literally not going to get used any other time, though, so we may as well. You know what? That already came with a fortune, though. So why don't we attack with George first, save that SP, for, I guess, no reason. Nah, we'll save the SP. It still matters. We can use all on the Shishi keys. It's still something extra. Also, okay, so there's 6 Mirzas left. There is the one Majin that we're gonna have to get her take out. There's this Majin sitting up here. And there's the 2 Tetsujins down the bottom. Okay. So once we track into the Mirzas, then we're gonna see the Shishiki arrive. Yeah, that's fine. I wasn't worried about that. If it hit, all the better, but yeah, and then we do still have the failsafe in the form of Catra. Though actually maybe we're gonna use him first. I think we'll probably do around like 1,500. Oh boy, I was super off. Oh, right, because he didn't get the full extent of the morale. He's probably only 120. Okay. The dragon Gundam can get in here, so. Hold on, can he just get adjacent? 1, 2, he can. Okay, change of plans. We're gonna see if the getter doesn't kill this for whatever reason. Then Genichiro can kill there. If it does kill, then the Genichiro can kill this Mirza. And then we can leave this Daiketsujin to Saisaishi, I think is going to be how we're going to do that. Yeah. So, we want a Valor. We want a Fortune. We want... Also, in looking here, the getter does not have a spirit that restores energy, so forget what I said about that propellant tank mother soup situation, at least as far as the context of these 3 go, right? Like, that is still a valid assessment, just not necessarily relevant for them. I know that I could awaken. I believe it's awaken and not Zeal. I think Zeal's the one you can give to people, but I know I could take extra turns with the getter after this. That's what I was hoping for. Well, but I want to save that for killing the double Gundams quickly. They do have the repair kits, or one of them has a repair kit on them. So I don't want that one to heal. They also have the HP regen, so just taking them out quickly seems more prudent to me. We need feet, guns, and fire. And focus. Put that one back on. This is a boss, technically. I mean, not technically. It is a boss. We probably should have given him... EXP also, but that's fine. Cool, perfect. We do also got to think about who's gonna get all the Shishiki kills. I'm really tempted for it to be Domon. I think, actually no. Let's make it Duo. Right? I said there's 30 of them. Duo is is a pilot, along with Zex, who could reach the threshold of 50. So I think that makes more sense to me, and I think it's easier for us to make meaning out of a higher value duo. Zex is already doing a ton. Not that duo isn't, but Zex is like super does not need the help. But he also has a higher opportunity cost. Like it's easier for him to not become relevant by like being out of position. I don't think we are going to need a focus here. Nope, we super do. I was wrong. Speaking of fortune. Actually, we'll think about that in a second. I want to see what is the which other ones can't take actions. Which of our other units can't take an action relevant enough to kill one of them? Okay. I think the top, the top left one of these, like this one, I don't think we're gonna. Oh no, that's what the Voltace and the Getter, or the Voltace and the Combator are for. Also, while we're here, I don't got anything else on my mind to talk about. To return to the Zex duo bit, I generally recommend. So I want to get out in front of this. I generally recommend that investing into something that is already good is usually better than making something go from bad to good, or trying to make something go from bad to good. But I also don't think. Okay, well, hi. Some things are gonna look a little different. Sorry about that. My game just decided to crash. And not like my whole computer. OBS was still running. My internet tabs were still open. Just this game. There was a crack of thunder. I don't know why that would have turned off one program in particular, but it sure seemed to. So, I went back and replayed everything. And I tried to do basically the same stuff. You can see we're roughly in the same positions. It's not exactly the same, but Domon's still down here fighting these. We still had this squad of Katra and George and the Rock Hylum up here, though we got some extra support going on. But I think this is roughly the position we left ourselves in before. I didn't want to go much further without you. I also realized I could have just replayed the whole scenario and no one would have ever known. But I like kind of how that turned out before, so I would like to keep that, even though it's not going to have the continuity from before. There's not really much different that happened. Like I said, I think we did get one more funds than we had in the past, but a difference of 3,000 at this point is pretty negligible. Not to say that I wouldn't go out of my way to get it, but let's Valor just to be safe. So this actually probably also won't have a whole lot to do after this. Yeah. Can anybody else get to the Mirza? Yes. Zex can. I think the biggest difference is, especially if you just got that quick peek at Zex's SP is SP totals are the thing that's going to be the most different, right? That's inherently just how things worked out. I probably could have like gone back and rewatched everything and then copied the moves exactly, but I think this is close enough that it's fine. How many steps away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we take the far one, yeah. Because then the closer one can be handled maybe by one of these others. Also, we probably had enough money to get that. Actually, yeah, we'll do this again. We did not use the love on not Tsukiyomi, Shiratori. Oh no, you're just one shy. Ah, that's probably still enough. Yeah, excellent. Look at that 4 levels you've gained. Here we go. Okay, yeah, this is why I could do the math, but I knew we were close, so we can all see what's happening with the Shishiki. So see how the Tulip got lit up right there. If we land on either of those 2 squares with one of our units, not just our battleship, but any unit, I'm fairly sure. Let's make sure. Hold on. Should have this written down. Yeah, player unit moves onto the Tulip tile. The reinforcements will stop. It doesn't get rid of the ones that are already on the battlefield, mind you, but it will stop new ones from arriving. We can move George forward. Actually, we probably should have waited just a second for these guys. No, we've only got 2 of them left, and we can use the fortune on each of those instead. And I think the carrot's gonna heal Rain. Yeah. Okay. We should have enough. Yeah, we totally have enough left for that. We will need some accuracy there. I think the bullseye's just gotta be it. I do really wish that the last pilot. I'm sorry, I just like refer to them by their position. I don't remember their names, and I can't read the kanji for their names. Like this I can read because it's in hiragana. Like Megumi has a lot of accuracy ones, but she also doesn't have bullseye. She just has focus. I was gonna say I would love it if the last pilot had bullseye, like how Megumi does for the Voltace, but that's also not true. We still need money, and why not EXP? I do see all of those juicy extra turns still sitting there, but it does not feel worth it to me to spend them now when we've got a whole mess of units we can collect. That will probably pad out our... yeah, and then we just can't do anything with the Deshka. We can't, like, confirm and have it sit there. That probably will pad out our time, though, for our turn count. Yeah, okay, perfect. This is working exactly as predicted, as planned. I mean, right? Then we can do the double blessing plan that I mentioned before. Next turn. I think we'll just do this one now. That's fine. We could have also blessed that, but it's okay. Like I said before, I think I want Hero to get this. So we're gonna move him forward. And send everybody else a little backwards. I can't tell if it's my headphones doing this or not, but I feel like there's like a little extra chirping kind of sound going on with the audio. I will listen back to it, and hopefully that hasn't just ruined the whole recording. But let me know if y'all can hear that too. If so, then we gotta get this. This can't be the setup. I do have some. It's some pretty. They are pretty shoddy earphones though, so that could just be the reason. And that shouldn't affect the recording. Right? The recording is coming directly from my computer. We want to be down here next turn because the Combattler offers the highest level of EXP with resupplying it. And then everyone else, we're just going to leave sit here, I think. Okay. No, we'll leave that Tsujin back just to make sure. And then we'll leave everyone else sit here. For what it's worth, also, the, Devil Gundams do not move, so those are never gonna come charging in at us. Also, notice that, like, how, in the way in which they are moving, means if we can, like, reduce them to 6 units again, we can also just, like, keep that whole wave spawning in this one turn, so... like, concerned over turn count might not even be that big a deal. Especially because we can move... Oh, no. Especially because we can move hero forward next turn, so that those ones that are in the back that are moving forward will be able to attack immediately. And we can then spend a focus on him, and then all those 20% go away. We may as well spend a fortune, too. They're not worth a lot, but they are worth something. What happened down here? Oh, they do have boson jumps, I forgot. Okay, that's probably why that didn't pan out. I know Sasaki does not have a fortune left. How many more of these we got? Oh, we got plenty. Between that and the rest of the... the rest of the actual fortunes we have on our units, there's nothing to worry about in terms of cash. That said, though, I am going to daunt this man to take him out of boson jump. I don't want another 50%. Yeah. And we're going to get as far away as we can just to get Doma as close to the action as possible. Still work out fine. You need energy. And we can get a little closer, actually. We don't have to guess. Our range is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we can lock that space in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. The getter is the edge of our range, or the edge of our movement range, so we're not invalidating the duo situation. I know it's a little closer here, but that's fine. I think it's gonna all work out basically the same. You can get down here to get healed next turn. Okay, and then the Y is the only one left. And then everything works correctly. Oh no, oh, we were killing with crits? That's a bummer, okay. Because like all of these should be dead, but... most of them will be dead. Also, not the duo has to get all of them, right? Like, there's those 2 stragglers. I'm not going to wait another turn. We'll push forward next turn, and if whoever's there to clean them up will get them. We do need to kill all the... Oh, bummer, okay. Well, we need to kill all the rest of them to get the other ones to spawn, but... That's fine. We're probably at a stat point or 2 away from getting a clean one-shot without needing a crit. Ooh, this works out perfectly. I've got something cooking in my crock pot, and I think this episode will end right at the time it is done. Okay. I guess we push forward again, but there's still too many of them left. We still have, I think we've still got 2 waves left of them that will spawn. Yeah. What would we say, 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think it's just how my headphones are handling the sound of the the sort of like glimmer, crunchy twinkle inputs. It sounds like a light bird whistle. I don't think the birds that were taking up residence in my patio ceiling have gotten into my house yet. So I don't think it's those. Oh, you know what? I understand what the difference was now. I forgot about this. As deeper waves of these spawn, they do get higher stat upgrades. So like the first wave have +2, the second wave have +2. Oh. Then 3, then 4, then 5. I would have assumed it would have been +1, but like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but for whatever reason, it's not. But now definitely, regardless of what's left, we'll send everybody in. I'm also like holding down my confirm button as if like Pokemon to like really get that crit. Make sure we get the crit. Gotta hold the button down harder. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this should spawn another wave if there is one more. Yeah. Will they get to go? Okay, yeah, because technically it is still the Shishiki priority. It's just that they will go from top to bottom, right? So like if these ones were on the field, these ones would have gone before the ones that are below them that have been grayed out already. So I wasn't sure what it was going to let it do. Okay, well, we just got 1760, so we have now crossed the 40 kill threshold. We may have done that before, I just wasn't paying attention, but I did just notice it. Also, 4D, in case I think I may have said 14. That's not correct, it's 4D. Okay. What are we looking at for kill count? That's the wrong screen. 42. Well, that's... yeah. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that math checks out. That is the last of these units. So, we've got 11 units remaining. We've got one more blessing. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fortunes. So we can probably figure out some other... So what was that? 7, 8, 9. I think we can probably get like 9 more out of here. Do we have a Zeal left? Ooh, we do have a Zeal left. We can get George into position for a map attack, I think. Right, if he can go here. What we want is it right here. So from here we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's where we'd have to stand. I don't think he can get over there. No, he's a little shy. That's a bummer. We don't happen to have 2 of these, do we? We could have 2 of these. You know, what else are we using it for? Okay. So we want George to be here. And then we can Zeal him back. I mean, we'll check right now to make sure, but yeah, that just doesn't, it's not quite cutting it. And then move, let's double check to make sure. We need this to be over 1, 2, 3 steps. 1, 2, 3 steps is where he needs to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, perfect. And then, okay, who has this left? Great. Okay, well, she can't give it to herself, but... I guess let's also make sure... No, these are not getting... Oh, he's wasting a little bit. A little too late. We did waste 10, but glad we caught it before we wasted all of them. And then Twin Psyche can still do 1 more. Okay. And now we Zeal George 1 more time. Superb. Now he needs to Blessing himself. We move the Rakai Lumen to get the EXP, or the EXP, the accuracy buff. And then that takes care of just so many of them. I think that is a better use of our resources. And then we'll have enough fortunes left to take out the rest of the units with them. With all full money credit. Well, okay, that one still dodged. 2 of them? 3 of them? Wild! I did not expect them to have that low of accuracy. And they were still leaving another... Oh, wow. I really bungled that. Can it trigger 6 times? I'm pretty sure it can only trigger 5. I mean, let's find out. Does it just keep happening? Like, it definitely doesn't keep happening. I've definitely waited for them all to, like, come at me before. And they did stop eventually. I mean, fine, I will still stand by that choice. I tried to make the best informed decision I could with the notes I left myself. That is the trouble. I mean, I can't even finish that sentence without calling myself a liar. I was gonna say that's the trouble with these games, but like it is the part that delights me about them, is that it feels like even when everything is all like neat and tidy, once it's all solved, that there's still all these little gimmicks to each stage that frustrate that a little bit. Or maybe I'm just entirely full of it, and I just counted badly. The possibility that I am bad at math is always an option. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do we have another? We do not have another one close. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That'll work. And then who needs help the most? Ooh. Yeah, that's fine. He has some support defenses. Okay. And then that one last one is the Nadeshko. Okay, well, with this extra wave, my crockpot situation is now not correct. I did sort of rush there at the end, but that did make that very sloppy of me, because none of these are getting counterattacked. That's fine. I do think we're probably still going to have George map attack again next turn. We won't have the full power of it, but... yeah, take that down. Okay, so we also won't be able to see this enemy phase if there's still another wave left. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, after a second brief away to take care of my cooking, let's figure out what's going on here. Yeah, that still works. I think, like, we've got no more spears left on him. This is still our best option for this. And we've got no blessings left either. All of them are fortunes, so... 4, 5, 6. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I was just off one wave. Oh, you know what? I think probably what I did was I didn't like, it is 5 more beyond the first one rather than 5 in total. Right, like the first one is, well, they all arrive normally. Not normally, they all arrive as reinforcements, so that can't be it either. We'll just chalk it up to maybe a bit me being bad. But that is okay. My experience with these games is still in its, it's not infancy, right? Like I can throw some numbers around pretty cogently, but I have been trolling through the Reddit and seeing people talk about, like, oh man, I've been a fan of this game series for 20 years. Like that ain't me yet. That said, it is nice to, it's nice to see the longevity of these games. I've said this before, that, like, even for my weebier friends, even for people who tend to be in the know about, like, Japanese media or, like, mecha media, this game series is so unheard of, which is wild to me. It's like, it's so competent. People love their tactics games, right? Like, the fact that there are, like, regular game series that can just slap the word tactics on the end of them, and that is, like, a real sales pitch for people, speaks to the volume of interest in this sort of thing. I do think there's something, like, slightly more impersonal about these games, though. Like, it comes with, like, there's, like, already a pre-established like value judgment placed on many of these characters. Does that make sense? Maybe value judgment's not exactly the right phrase to use, but you know, it's not like these characters are being established through this content, right? We have different canons for them. We have different arcs, and like we are artificially generating relationships for them across series, but this character does all like Goichi Bunji already exists outside the context of this game. And I think for a lot of people, the sense of connectivity with like the new and with a character that they're like kind of helping to define on their own is important for them too. Like look at Fire Emblem, I think probably the most successful of the tactics games. Like so many like the games are based on the people you're interacting with being like just a character, just a person. And for a lot of people, it's not just the gameplay, it is the way in which like which characters go on to your team. That there is no concern for the optimal selection of the team. It instead is about the like, you know, I like raising 0 to hero characters. I like when we have all of the female characters performing a role that is not conventionally feminine, like being the tanky armor knight or like being the really competent sword master. Where those like getting to know or getting to define those roles through that gameplay is, I think, a lot of the joy of it. Where like in this game, the same is just like is not said. Or you can't say the same for this game, right? I don't think there are any times where we're like fully changing the personality of a character. That like getting to know them through this game would mean knowing a different like that the character is being rewritten for that. If people do know that, I would be interested. I've commented many times that I don't usually play these games for the story, but that doesn't mean I don't care about the story. It's just not my like primary concern. I will usually what I will do is I will read through it, like I'll play the game because I'm mostly here for the gameplay, and then I will read through a translation of the story later. Okay, and then we've got to finish up the last one with Kara, but that's fine. We've done harder tasks before. We have money, we just need someone to donate some EXP to us. We are kind of playing fast and loose at the end here, but I'm getting a bit whooped. I think we've been here. I can't tell how long it's been. I suspect people are getting ready to move on, so I'm just trying to wrap it up. And mashing at these just huge HP tanks is also not like the most strategic of things. I guess technically these are bosses, so I probably should turn on at least one animation of seeing them. I think I've only shown the Form 1 on screen. I do appreciate that we do get all 3 versions of the Devil Gundam. It is a little weird to me. It's a little weird to me having multiple of them. I don't mind it. I can understand where it's coming from, right? That it's been left to grow so much that it's been like able to reduplicate the core central version. But it's especially weird to me seeing multiples of the Form 3. That one is maybe the one I would have been like, it's okay. Hopefully this doesn't kill. If it does, oh well. Form 3, I would have been okay if we had kept that as a singular boss, and then the Forms 1 and 2 were the ones that we were getting multiples of. But I also placed a lot of emotional weight on the last scene of G Gundam. I will just rewatch that scene regularly. So, I may be the outlier there. Okay. I think we are good to go. We may as well Valor it. In case something goes wrong, we can dodge. We'll get a lot of XP from this. We probably have a way to chip this a little bit more. Actually, yeah, at least Saisaishi is not doing a ton of damage right now, so let him chip. Just don't get a support attack off of the Combattler. That won't be good. Okay, 2,000 left. I'm sure the Getter can finish that. And the only support unit we have is the one that's making the attack, so yeah, we're getting the support attack correctly. Yeah, it was gonna have us use the weakest one. I think we're gonna be fine. Oh man. I wish I had a better understanding of my schedule, but I think by the time this video comes out, actually, I guess that is an update. By the time this video comes out, I feel pretty confident saying that we will have access to Y. We do have, as this recording, we do have the official release date for Y. I have heard a lot more dissension about its release. I get why. I think it's fair and healthy criticism. I always tend to err on the side of negativity towards a lot of modern media releases in general. So like, I'm not gonna argue or disagree. But a lot of people have some qualms with which units are, or which shows are getting added. And now that we like have like the full list, is there anything else that people would have liked to have seen? Both in terms of just like a different show, but also like, you know, just these are certainly not full rosters of units from a show. Like they're deep for this game, but there's definitely plenty that don't get to see the light of day in this series. So I think we can still do some repeats and have us. We can still do some repeat shows like more Mazingers or more Gundams, and show off some units that don't usually get to show up. I also would not complain if we got to use some more enemy units too, especially the super robots. I've said a couple of times on the channel that I like those old, very Saturday morning cartoon designs, so it would be fun to use them. I do understand that in the earlier games that was more common. Like I've had a good deal of fun with Mecha Kochoki in Super Robot Wars 3. So like more stuff like that. Like they don't have to be good. Like they can be joke units. I don't mind. I've said before too. I do have a lot of fun once I know the game. It probably won't be my first playthrough, but like once I know the game, I do have a lot of fun. You know, trying to make the joke units work. But yeah, like not every unit can be incredible. That said, I do think I have some different opinions, though. I see a lot of people praise the new Gundam, and like it's good. I just don't think it's like top tier in this game in particular. I think we hold on to that assessment too much. So in the same way we hold on to the assessment that like, oh, the big chunky guy that only has one attack isn't going to be good. Like maybe it only needs one attack. It can still do its job with that. I know I said I was going to look for something once we got to this screen, but I cannot remember what it was. Was it in parts? We're going to take a quick scroll through. Oh yes, I remember what it was. We were going to look at how much SP the mother's soup was healing. That's 50, but it doesn't matter now because the Getter pilots don't have a way of recovering energy as part of their toolkit. So it still makes more sense, I think, to keep it on Rain. If we ever actually use it. We probably don't need to, right? Like, we cleared that scenario with ease. I think that ended up being 10... Yeah, I think that was 10 turns, just because we ended up waiting and really, like, goobering up at the end with those Shishiki. We probably should have just pushed with the whole team and let Duo get what he could. Let's see if he actually ended up. He is one of our highest level people. Yeah, he got really close, but like 44 is not bad. I think we'll be able to hit 50 before we get to end game. Not that he even has like important morale thresholds to hit, but just like we've invested into him decently. I say not that confidently. Do we actually like put points into his damage? We must have for getting 3,700 off of him. But hold on, where is he? I know the Death Scythe does not have a lot of HP. My Japanese skills are rusty. Unsurprisingly, there it is. Unsurprisingly, I don't get to... Okay, there we go. One more. Well, we're here, we'll spend it now. Unsurprisingly, I don't get to deploy them a lot in my everyday life. I don't get to use my English a lot in my everyday life. Oh, okay. We got a lot of points in here to put, so we can do that. No wonder we weren't hitting as well. I do remember putting a Haro on the Death Scythe on my first playthrough and just sort of letting it run amok. So I was a little surprised what it wasn't doing as well this time. That being said, for whatever reason, I was not this high of a level. I think probably because my Fiona was really low level when I first played. Right, we ended the first scenarios, and I was very deliberate about like that first route split about making sure Fiona got a lot of EXP. I kind of recall us like entering into the regular game at like level 13, level 14, somewhere around there. So we did have like a pretty big jump ahead for everyone, and more than just having a head start, that also gave us access to the spirits that let us push even further. For instance, like all of the games, I remember saying that wasn't going to matter because I guess I just misjudged from my first playthrough how much more delayed it was not having those early on, right? Like they're not usually the first spirits your characters are gaining. They're usually pretty in the middle of the pool. So I think I ended up staying much lower. Like I feel pretty confident in saying that the scenario where I got the excellence was around level 30-ish. And I find it hard to believe that we gained 20 levels in 2 scenarios. So I think we've just overall been a lot higher. What else we got to do at the end? I haven't done this in a while. Oh, wait, we should talk about the next scenario. Do we actually have, oh, we do. I should have been doing this the entire time. There's a map view. I forget the map view. Okay, we are like now right properly in the end game. There's only 3 scenarios remaining. We are getting ready to attack the Golfa Empire. We're gonna see a boss that I kind of remember being around a lot more. He's just very memorable in how absolutely annoying he is. This is definitely supposed to be a Dendo stage, but we're gonna ignore it. There is a bonus, I will point it out, but we aren't gonna deal with that. But we are gonna see the pool of units that are going to become the like generics for the rest of the last 3 scenarios, and we're gonna have some more direct conflicts with all of our final bosses. It'll be the 3 Angel Sisters. I'm not sure if that's actually what they are in the plot. I don't remember, but that's what I'm calling them. I think you all know what I mean. We'll see them again, and this will be the last time we see the Frost siblings. And then we just have 2 more. We have versus Emperor Golfa, and then we have fighting Dominus at the end. We're so close. We probably could have wrapped this up a lot sooner had I been a little bit more pushing on my schedule, but it's very good to feel like we're getting to the end of our first recording. I hope everyone's been enjoying it. I look forward to bringing you a lot more. I've started this process not expecting to enjoy the recording as much as I was. Like, it was going to be fun, but it wasn't going to be like the primary thing I was doing. I still don't think this is going to be the primary mode of my project, but I've enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting. And like I said, hopefully you all have too. So I'll keep asking, keep comments, keep ideas coming to me. If you have a suggestion on what we want to do next, I will add it to the list. I feel like by this point, hopefully I would know, but like I have one in the back of my mind if we get no asks. But yeah, if anyone's got any feelings on things, I'm open to our next entry. But with that, I will leave you all go. I will see you next time for our Trinultimate stage. Yeah, Trinultimate stage. But yeah, take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.